What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? Good. Glad to be back. Told you I'd be back today. I did one earlier on the Mullins. You know the new ET race that has been on X, and there's a YouTube channel, and it's like in different languages. It's really interesting. So I did a video on that this morning. If you haven't seen that, man, check it out. I'll put it in the window at the end of this one. But I wanted to talk about synchronicities right now. And it's funny how they happen, and I love it when they happen. I feel like it's a wink from God, man. Like it's like a message letting me know I'm on the right path. And so let me explain this. So a couple weeks ago, I was on Timu, and I got a I don't know, it's like a obsession with Timu. So I bought this lion print sweatshirt, which I wore on the podcast the day before yesterday. And so I ordered it. It came, but I ordered it 2 weeks ago. I just ordered it because I thought it looked nice. It was a lion on the sweatshirt with a lion cub. It was hard, man. It was my kind of you know something I like. So I bought it. So it came yesterday. Okay, at the same time this is going on, Chris Bledsoe's doing the podcast with Sean Ryan came out. And then Diana Pasulka did an episode with Sean Ryan, and that came out. It was like bang bang. They came out like one right after the other, right? So I watched them, and then I did a podcast on it, on the Star Regulars, rising above the Sphinx, in around Easter time of 2026. And what the meaning of this was, what was going to happen, was this going to be some kind of great awakening? And so I did it. I did the podcast, well, vlog, whatever you want to call it, but and I analyzed the interviews that they did. We talked about like the controllers that seem to control society and steer us, in a certain direction, like the oligarchs, conspiracy theory shit. And I keep looking over there because I got this green light, and I'm making sure I don't look like I'm sick or like I have the flu or something. I want to make sure the lighting's right. So, but anyway, so I get the sweatshirt yesterday, um, and I do that podcast about the Star Regulus. And today I go out and I decided to stop into Five and Below, get my daughter's couple stuffed animals. It's a good place. You can get cheap stuff. If you want to grab something quick for your kids, right? So I grabbed Stitch. Both of them, because you can't get one something without getting the other one something, or else I'd have to move out if I did that. So they're 5 and 6. So while I'm in Five and Below, right, I'm just in there browsing around, and I see this, and I was like, "What is this doing in Five and Below?" Right, and I read this before, right? Wallace Budge or whatever his name is, but I thought it was just so odd that I stumbled upon this at a Five and Below, buying my daughter's toys, the Egyptian Book of the Dead. And, I got the emerald tablets, I got the Kybalion, I'm into Thoth, um, you know, uh, but there was a synchronicity to this, right? And it was like, so I bought the sweatshirt 2 weeks ago just 'cause I thought it looked cool. But there's a lot of other cool things that I could buy. Anyway, the old synchronicities that I experienced last year and for a couple years leading up to that was owls. Well, since I started this podcast, it seems to be Egyptian stuff. Although I did see the owl on the dollar bill and that kind of tripped me out. Maybe I'll upload a picture of that. But there's an owl on the back of the dollar bill. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So, but what makes this what hit it hit me like, so I get the sweatshirt yesterday. It just so happens that Diana Pasolka and Chris Bledsoe both did their podcast with Sean Ryan. So I'm covering the Star Regulus 2026. What's coming? Is it going to be this great alien, uh, you know, coexistence, like a new golden age? Is that what's coming? And that was the subject matter of my podcast yesterday. And then I stumbled across the Book of the Dead at a Five and Below, man. And it just hit me like this is what I mean by like, and what usually happens is whenever this happens, right? So this coincidence happens. Everything kind of seems like it's lining up, and this will keep going. And maybe now that I'm talking about it, maybe it won't because maybe I'm jinxing it, but it'll keep going, and then it'll start stacking up, and then you'll get layers upon layers of you know coincidences and synchronicities, and I I think it's a positive. It's like I said, it's like a way from God, just letting me know. It's like a little message letting me know I'm on the right path. I just wanted to share that with you guys because I'm a big Carl Jung fan. You know what I mean? You know, I've read uh I've read his books. They're hard to read. Um, but I really get into his take on synchronicities and his experiences with them. And like and me speaking about this, it doesn't really seem like it's that big of a deal, but um if you're paying attention to these little nuances in your life, you'll see uh that these things happen in your life also, but you have to kind of be tuned into it, and I meditate a lot. Like I said, I got into the gateway process pretty heavy. Um, and I believe that there's more than just what we see, and that was one of the things that I was speaking on yesterday. Um, you know what I'm saying? And I think that for me, this is evidence of um that time is not linear. I feel like this is evidence that time's not linear, that there's more than meets the eye. There's more than what these five senses are able to translate for us. For sure. You know, and if you don't believe so, it's kind of like a cocky, prideful conceit. Like why would you think that um, that there wouldn't be more? Obviously, there's more. Just look at radio waves, microwaves, all these things that we can't see, gamma rays. But they definitely have an effect. And when we have certain instruments, we can actually experience them. This thing that we're dealing with here, the internet. Um, it just go that's proof positive that there's more than what meets the eye. And so why wouldn't there be um, non-human intelligences? Why wouldn't there? Just something to think about. But hey, I want you to check out some footage. Check this out.
Three of them.
Wow, that's where it sits. Wow. Good one.
Terrestrial life on planet Earth. One of the things you said in an interview, you talked about a conversation you had with a U.S. admiral. They tell me something's moving at hundreds of miles an hour underwater, as large as a football field underwater. This was a documented case, and I have an admiral telling me this stuff.
Tim Gallaudet.
What do you believe exists on Earth in terms of extraterrestrial life, and what have you seen proof of?
Well, there's some things I've seen proof of that I can't discuss, and I've urged the White House to disclose these things. You know, they spend hundreds of millions of dollars researching something, and then you have one group telling us they don't exist, and I have the best pilots in the world telling me, Tim, this thing was 14 feet from my canopy, and he went and he did this, and I've seen things that I wish the public could see. There's just a lot of unknowns. And again, they tell us they don't exist, but then they issue redacted reports, and they're still studying. Almost every one of our alphabet agencies has that. And we had testimony that said they have a recovery unit. Now, what are they recovering? I'd like to know. It's our tax dollars. We have a right to know. And when government thinks that we can't handle what's going on out there, that's when government's gotten a little too big, and we need to cut their wings off. And right now they're spending, our Pentagon has got all this dark money. You have the alphabet agency studying these things. One group will tell us they exist, the other one doesn't. I just think it's time that we have total disclosure. And you all in the press ought to be for transparency and disclosure. I don't see a problem with that.
Right. Love that guy. Wow. I guess the FAA is in Vietnam. The FAA is doing research in Vietnam, y'all. Vietnam. Check this one out.
February 6th, 2025. A Colombian airline pilot flying over Antioquia captures something incredible. A triangular object hovering at 22,000 feet right outside the cockpit window. The footage is clear, controlled, and unexplained. But that's just the beginning. From the cockpit display, we can confirm. Altitude, 22,000 feet. Speed, 319 knots. Heading, 075 degrees, northeast. This wasn't some shaky cell phone footage. It was caught mid-flight, and the object held its position effortlessly. I wanted to find the exact flight. Using ADSB data, I searched for an Airbus A320 that matched the key cockpit details, altitude, heading, and speed. Flying over Antioquia that day, while I couldn't pinpoint the exact flight, I found one with nearly identical characteristics. It's not a perfect match, but it gives us context for what was happening in the skies when this was recorded. And here's the thing. Antioquia is no stranger to UFO sightings. A few years ago, another Colombian pilot, flying at 12,500 feet, recorded a similar object passing by his aircraft. And just days before this latest encounter, on December 28, 2024, a witness in Medellin reported a...
Ooh, look at this. What is this?
It's like, I thought it would be round. It's round.
Yeah, on the sky.
Yeah, in the sky. It's a space jellyfish.
Oh, look at...
What in the...
Oh my gosh.
What is that? What is that?
It's turning. Oh my gosh. Did you see everybody?
Oh my gosh, what is that? It's moving.
Rewind. Now listen. If you look at, like, I got a camera, I got night vision binoculars. If you look at certain things out of focus, they tend to appear similar to that. I'm not saying that's what that is, but one thing I'm not going to do is try to present something that I don't really have a lot of faith in as being real. And that one, I'm not so sure, guys. But you can make your own decision.
Good afternoon from London. This is Emmeline. This was the captured of the day. The 6th of February at 11:33 a.m. London time. As you can see from the start, an ovni showing up in the London sky. Black object showing up, multiple of them. It's incredible. As you are watching this incredible footage that I have captured during my live stream. What a beauty. And I'm telling you, We are not alone. The sky full of surprises. Whether you watch it during the day or at night, there's many of them in there. As you can see it in here, viewers, different shape of UFO appears in the London sky this morning from 11:33 a.m. that I have captured until 2:24 p.m. London time. Incredible. In fact, I'm just amazed of what I have.
I wish she could have zoomed in a little more, but that was interesting. Let's check this one out. Shout out to Mike Henry Grillo. This
I mean, look at my neighbors live in a massive house. That's a big home, guys. That's not the size of an SUV. That's the size of a small building. It's coming. I can't lie to you. I gotta walk back to my driveway just so I feel safe, dude. Something's going on. Look, it's like hot dog shaped. Look at it. Look at this thing. But look at it right now. Look how close it is to me now, guys.
shaped like a hot
It is
dog.
to me now, and how far away it was.
We got flying dogs in
It's right
Delaware.
on me, guys. It's pulling right up on me. Look at it. I won't now. Yeah, it's coming, guys. I mean, look at my neighbors live in a massive house. That's a big home, guys. That's not the size of an SUV. That's the size of a small building. How fucking beautiful is that?
We got close up too. Look at that.
How fucking beautiful is that? Look at this. What is it, guys? What do you think it is?
Kid.
It came right to me. I can hear it now, guys. I mean, look
Shout
at
out to
my
Stephen
neighbors live in a
Davis.
massive house. That's a big home, guys. That's not the size of an SUV. That's
What the fuck is it chasing? What are those three things right there?
What is that?
Record it.
I am.
You see 'em? What is it?
Why are they flying in the dark too? What the?
FAA doing research.
Chasing something.
Obvious.
What the? Oh, look at those. Look at the green.
This guy in the comments, he said, "What is a UAP?" Yeah, you know what? It's amazing that there's people like that in the world. You know, come to my channel. I'll put you down with all that. That, my friends, is a UAP.
It's a kite. There's the fire. Direction it's going.
You know what?
It's not a kite. It's not. It's just flying around.
I've seen this footage from different angles.
Yes, man. It's not a kite. Kites are not just flying away. It's moving.
Looks like I thought it was bogus. But now that I'm seeing footage of different people, different angles, same content. Uh, one question is, I see green and red lights,
Hold on.
which
That one looks cool.
they say is FAA. That all planes have to have these navigation lights. So I don't know. You guys tell me.
Can you come
Que luego vimos
Mira,
esa, que está
ya
allá, y
parpadeó.
aquella pues no se ve, nomás se ve como
Interesting.
luz. Pero esa sí era
Este,
forma
este
de
sí
algo.
es como una puta nave, ¿no?
Sí, es como una nave. Y ya está como inclinada. Estaba como así, yo veo.
Uy, está bajando, Arturo, ¿no?
Todo más arriba.
Sí, está bajando, ¿no?
Como a la altura del poste, pero acá.
No,
Aquel
ándale,
poste,
sí.
pues, pero acá. No manches. Yo me voy. No, si no te pases de lanza.
Sí prendió las
No,
luces
ya me dio
laterales,
miedo.
¿verdad?
Sí.
You got that? Chi-town, Chirac.
Now it's one. Do you see that? Entry.
It's like it's trying to emulate, like,
Thought see where.
right here. I'll look at that later, Sheila.
5 days ago. Shout out to him, man.
It's like it's trying to emulate, like, airplanes.
No, easy, come here. No, easy, come here.
I got to follow for that one, man. Exo AI Labs, man. That was some good stuff, man. That was a good one.
It's in pieces. Yeah, those gotta be birds, bro.
So cool fish,
Or
man.
pets?
Oh,
That's crazy, though.
Why are they going in the dark?
Because we're looking at them from the bottom. Remember, from the top they're darker, from the bottom they're lighter.
Oh, hell no, I never heard.
Yes, bro.
No, I never heard. You're seeing things.
Think about the palm of your hand. It's in pieces.
Yeah, I'm going to show you the sky in the bush real quick. I can't really see it that well, that bright out. All the way around. Dogs playing. Pretty. Around. Back. What is going on here? Beautiful sun. You are very pretty. Center. Clearly you see the center today. This dog look like she's from Earth. All these other dogs here, you know.
Shaped UFO disclosure. It wasn't what they expected. Respectfully, I don't think you're paying attention. Let me explain. You're gonna want to favorite this video so you can come back. First of all, if you're waiting for an egg to show up in your backyard, it ain't happening. Disclosure has already happened. It's not gonna come from Senator What's-His-Face.
Right.
You gotta put the pieces together.
Yep.
First thing I want you to do is go to my page and look at everything I've been talking about with toroidal plasmoids, free energy, anti-gravity. Then I want you to go to YouTube and search for a guy named Bob Greenyar, Greenyer. After you dive that rabbit hole, I want you to find another guy on YouTube named Chris Leto. He's a retired F-16 pilot. Chris has like a 2.5-hour interview with a guy named Michael Herrera, retired Marine Corps. You may remember him from the Sean Ryan Show podcast. The egg-shaped UFO video and the story that accompanies it are gold. You just have to know what you're looking for. Do me a favor and dive these rabbit holes and report back. Let's put these pieces together. A lot of people are really disappointed about.
I wanted to talk about the similarities. I don't know. I was watching the Chris Ramsey Area 52. He did a documentary on Chris Bledsoe, and in the story, Chris Jr. in the woods, and he was looking for his dad. If you guys haven't seen that podcast, you know it's an awesome podcast called Area 52. Chris Ramsey. Anyway, he was interviewing Chris Bledsoe and the family, and Chris Jr., Chris Bledsoe's son. The first night that Chris had his abduction experience, or whatever you want to call it, a spiritual experience, whatever, in the woods when they were fishing, Chris Jr. Reported seeing these little beings, these little short people or short guys with big heads, and dig this, he had red eyes that glowed in the dark, and that one eye would blink and open, and the other eye would blink and open. And he said it freaked him out because at all times they had an eye on him. So it's a whole new wow, man. Like, talk about keeping an eye on somebody. But all jokes aside, I want to take you back to the Virginia case, right? South America, the one that was covered by James Fox on Moment of Contact. And in that, it was a crash, and there was this being running around the streets of Virginia, right? And these three girls seen this being, and guess what? It had red eyes, and short being, big head. And I just see the similarities in the two cases. Just something I wanted to point out today. But wow, man, it's crazy, dude. Thanks for watching.